Wow. This is cool. I am right in the middle of the Sadar Bazaar. Beautiful India, incredible. All right, let's, I guess, head this way. Both directions look super interesting. All right, trip number 2, 2006. I went to India for 3 months. I started in Pondicherry and Oroville. I spent a month in Oroville, a spiritual community in the south of India, on the coast there. And then from there, I believe that I headed for Hampi, and then went back to Mysore again, and revisited Madikeri, and went to some Buddhist refugee camps there near Madikeri, and then to the best of my recollection, from there I headed south, and I went to Sravanabellagola, which is the, man oh man, it is the pilgrimage destination for Jains, the Jain religion. This is the real deal here. So Sravanabellagola, and then I know that I visited a couple of other places, cannot remember. And then headed back to Chennai, where I'd flown into, and went to the Andaman Islands of India that are close to Thailand. Really amazing. I feel like I skipped over a couple places on that trip, but we'll just leave it as it is and keep moving, because lots more to tell, of course. Next trip, 2007, the next year, fall of 2007. Started off in Delhi and then back to Rishikesh, and then, man oh man, now I'm getting the trips confused a little bit. This one's gonna be tough. It's funny that I was able to remember pretty clearly my first trip, and then this one is a lot more foggy in my memory as far as exactly where I went. So I'll just do my best here. Notice the electric rickshaws. So that cuts down on the noise a little bit. Intense. Okay, which way to go from here? Bigger street that way, but this looks, wow, this is just wild. Somebody on the ground there for some reason. Maybe had heat stroke or something. Okay, so I'll just fly through this 2007 trip. I was there for a solid, maybe it was 3 months again. So I definitely went to Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri. I'm just going to kind of list them in random order. Fatehpur Sikri was the capital of India until it was moved to Agra because of a water shortage. It is close to Agra. I went to Bindi. Okay, I must have been in Rajasthan, because I went to Bindi, Rajasthan before Fatehpur Sikri. I believe that I went, yes, okay. I went to Jaisalmer and the desert town that is near there, which I'm not thinking of. I will put the subtitle below. I might have gone to Pushkar again on that trip. And then Bindi and Fatehpur Sikri, and I guess I must have gone back to the Taj Mahal again in Agra. And then I headed for Nepal. I'm sure that I missed some places, but I went to Nepal for the first time and did a trek there. Okay, let's head down this way. This is basically the opposite of my last video in Bahrain. Incredible how different they can be. So I went to Nepal for I think 2 weeks, and so that concludes that third trip to India. My fourth was in 2010 to 2011, again arrived in the fall, again started in Rishikesh, and then I did another Himalayan journey, kind of retracing my steps, going back to Almora and Kasar Devi, and then doing that Himalayan trip again through the mountains by bus. And then back to Rishikesh. And then headed south. And I went to some of my favorite places of India. Okay, I went to Orcha. Interesting market around like a temple. Okay, we got the like jewelry and kitchenware section. Hello, namaskar. How are you? So I went to, I believe, Orcha, and then to man oh man, what was this place called? I will put the name of it down below. It will pop into my head probably, but very interesting Mughal ruins there. And then went to Omkareshwar, fascinating place, an island in a river shaped like the Om symbol, the Hindu Om symbol. And then to Pachmari, and somewhere in there I visited the incredible rock-cut caves of I should know this one. Ajanta. Either Ellora or Ajanta, but I believe that I went to Ajanta caves. And then from there, oh man. I know that I went back to Agra and visited the Taj Mahal once again. Doing a U-turn with a cow. That's pretty wild. So I definitely went back to the Taj Mahal. We'll just call it good there. I think that I then went back to Rishikesh and then Delhi and then flew out. And so the next trip would have been 2012 to 2013. Again, started that one in, oh, not Rishikesh actually, but Dharamsala and McLeodganj up in the Himalayas. Absolutely incredible place. And then from there, headed to Rishikesh. And then I think headed back to Pushkar again. And then down to Goa and went to Arambol. Then again to Gokarna and back to Hampi. Man, oh man. Crazy traffic jam here. Even the pedestrians can't get through. Here we go. Insane. In the membrane. There is just nowhere like India, man. It is just such an alternate reality. So, from Hampi, I headed back to the Taj Mahal once again to Agra, and I think that concluded that trip. So next was 2014. Arrived in the winter. I came by bus from Nepal to Varanasi. And then let's see, from Varanasi, I think I might have headed back to, I can't remember if I went to Rishikesh on that trip. And then I went to Manali, Shimla first, Shimla. Oh, no. I did go there, but first I went to Rajasthan, Bikaner, and I think out to the desert dunes again near Jaisalmer. Yeah, I think I went back to Jaisalmer, and then again to that desert village that Kuri. That's right, and also Kitchen. Kitchen is on the way. I went there twice. I think it was on that trip or another trip. A place where birds, these cranes, land at the same time. Hello. So Rajasthan, and then headed for the Himalayas. Went to Shimla and Manali, and stayed just outside of Manali in the little town where I bought my Indian blanket that I still have, that I travel with. Dang, not remembering the name of that town at the moment. And that's when I was trying to get up to Ladakh, and based on getting some local information, decided to go through Kashmir. And so I headed for Dharamsala once again, and then to Srinagar, Kashmir, where I waited for the pass to open up, and then was able to get into Ladakh to something that starts with a K. What was that? The first town, and then from there went to Leh, and then that concludes that trip. I flew from Leh back to Delhi and then flew out. Okay, when was the next trip? 2014. I didn't go in 2015. I didn't go in 2016. I guess it was in 2017 in the spring. Then I went to Goa, to Anjuna, and then where did I go from there, I think back to Gokarna, and then possibly back to Hampi. It is really funny that the more recent trips I'm having a harder time remembering than the older trips. Let's see, I stayed in the south. I went to another spiritual town. What was that one called? Tiruvannamalai. Man, where else did I go on that trip? Bangalore. That's right, I was in Bangalore on my first trip as well. That's right, Pondicherry again, and visited Oroville just for a day. Let's just call that good on that trip, because I know that I flew out of Bangalore. Then later that same year in 2017, okay, I'm getting close to wrapping this up, which is good because my battery is about to die. I'm about to run out of memory on this phone or on my camera. So 2017, started in Jaipur, went to the Camel Festival in Pushkar, and then, man oh man, I know that I went to the Hare Krishna town, another one that I'm not remembering off the top of my head at the moment. I will write that one, and then back to Rishikesh, and then I did, okay, I completely forgot to mention this other Himalayan journey that I did before. That was in 2007 or 2008. Completely forgot to mention this, but I did a repeat of that trip from Rishikesh up into the Himalayas to the hot springs at Gangnani. So that was in like end of 2007, I think. And then I did a repeat, so it was 10 years later in 2017, up to Uttarkashi, Uttarkashi, and Gangnani hot springs, and then Mussoorie, which I also visited, I think, in 2008. So I've definitely mixed things up a little bit. But I think that pretty much concludes that trip. And then 2018, I went to Visakhapatnam or Vizag to visit a friend, Heysuru. And that was it for that trip, just 5 days there. And then last trip was 2019 to Goa to Patnam, also for just like 5 days. So I think I did it. I think that's it. So here we are, trip number 11, and I have things in mind as far as where I'm going to go, some epic spots, some of which I have revisited and some that I haven't been to before. So lots more coming from incredible India. I might be near the Red Fort, but I'm not going to be able to film anymore. Let me see how much memory card and battery I have left and see if I can capture another couple minutes. All right, so I have 8 minutes left and 16% battery, so let's just make this a long one and try to figure out where else to go. I'm going to guess that this is over the train tracks up ahead. So there's a sign, Northern Railway, Queens Road Railway Colony, and there it says Sadar Bazaar. That's where I just was. So this is some sort of a chowk, is a junction point. Let's walk into this way. Okay, railroad tracks there. And there. Garlic, wow, it smells good. Very strong garlic smell right here. So maybe you're getting an idea from this video of why I keep coming back to India. It is not for everybody, but it is an experience like no other. The stuff you see, the experiences you have, the people you meet, the food. Without a doubt, some of the most delicious food in the world, the incredible variety of things to see, from the Himalayas to the Thar Desert to the beaches of Goa, the cities. The history is basically, you don't get, more interesting history than India. Hello, how are you? Cool. The architecture. The spirituality, the yoga, the ceremonies. All right, well, that was quite a walk. I've been back in there before, I think, but not sure about that exact route. So that was incredibly interesting, and just the tip of the iceberg, just dipping a toe in the vast ocean of India here. Lots more to come. I'll give a hint. From here, I'm heading south. Not going into the mountains yet, even though that would be the practical thing to do, is get cooler up in the Himalayas, which I do plan to do. I will very likely head into the Himalayas to a new place that I haven't been to yet. But first I want to show some places in the plains, brave the heat, and show you some places that I have been to before, but haven't documented with decent video, like on those earlier trips a decade ago with crappy video quality. And so this is going to be a super interesting exploration through the mysterious, unique land of India. Lots more to come. See ya. Namaskar.